Hey there, how's it going? Mr. Medfan28 with another video on my recent bottle find. I went back to this old house. It was close to where I live, which I'd been to many times, and got a couple more bottles out of there that had been probably sitting there for 30 plus years, completely covered in mud and dirt. So, I'm gonna have to spend quite a bit of time cleaning them, but here's what I got last night. It's old Coke bottles. It's hard to see because of all the mud. These are the glass Coke bottles that I found. There's dozens of these there. They were all in an old rotted cardboard box on the bottom of the ground. Just, full of dirt and crap. I think I got about 10 of these last night. The rest of them are in my bathroom soaking. They've been soaking for probably 16 hours. They're pretty bad. It's going to take a while. So these are next to get cleaned. I'll show you what else I got. A little plastic Dr. Pepper crate with 32-ounce glass bottles. It's like metal lids, screw-on caps. There's also some Diet Pepsis in here, as you can see. Neat looking. Couple of things about this particular piece that tells me that it probably isn't very old is that, for one thing, they're in a plastic crate, which, I don't know for sure, but I think these are probably from the 80s, maybe 70s. I don't know exactly when they started using the plastic cases. And another thing is that these bottles all have barcodes on them. And I'm pretty sure that's a more modern thing. But the 80s, as I said, I'm not sure. I grew up in the 80s, and I don't remember these, but I know they're not from the 90s, so they've got to be either from the 80s or back. But it came into the 6-pack. One of them is missing because it's in the bathroom being soaked. But it's neat. As you can see, it's completely covered in cobwebs and dust. See, 32-ounce resealable bottles. It's a nice piece, though. It's been sitting there, I'd guesstimate about 30 years. It's been sitting in this old garage that was just rotting away, and the roof was caving in, and these were sitting all under a little workbench, which weren't getting much rain leakage from the old roof, but they were getting a little bit, because some of these actually had water buildup in them, and as did the Coke bottles. Had a little bit of water in them over the years, so a little bit of water managed to eke inside. But they're still in excellent condition. No cracks. They're all, in one piece. These are a couple of other little bottles I found. This one, on the bottle doesn't really tell me much. There's a couple of little serial numbers on the bottom, but nothing, that tells me about how old it is. But the lid says Borden's Hemo Nutrition Booster. I have no idea what that is. But it's something to do with dairy because it says Borden's on it, and everybody knows that Borden is a huge milk distributor or manufacturer. So I don't know what that was. Eau de Quinine, I think is French. This is hair tonic bottle. And I don't know how old this one is either, because it's got a plastic screw-on cap. You can see that. Let's see what the bottom says. Look. And the bottom has the name Ed Pinaud on it, I believe is how you pronounce it. And he was the one that, he's a big French perfume designer, I think, from the 1800s. I did some studying on him on the internet last night. I believe it's Ed Pinaud. It's hard to read. Yeah, he was an old French perfume designer. I looked up his bottle to see if I could find out how old it is, because it does have like a really vintage label, but I didn't find anything on it. This is probably from the 50s or 60s, I'd imagine. Plastic lid. The strange thing about this bottle is that I opened it and it smelled kind of like a cologne or a perfume. It smelled kind of sweet, which is really weird. For being, in a abandoned building for like 40 plus years, it still had an odor to it. Kind of interesting. It's another bottle I found. Old bottle. Again, I have no idea what kind it is. It's got some serial numbers on the bottom, but nothing that says anything about how old it is. God damn camera. This one. Peter Pan Diet Spread. I imagine this is some kind of a peanut butter jar from the 50s or 60s. It says, Diet Spread, no salt added. Stays moist to the bottom. Kind of neat looking. Again, on the bottom, just a couple of numbers, but no dates or anything, so I don't really know much about where it came from. This looks like a old hot sauce bottle. It's got a... Shit. I don't know anything about this either, but it was in there. And then this one, another bottle with a screw on top. I don't know anything about this one, but it's got a bell on the bottom of it. I don't know what that means. I've never seen that before. Some kind of a food jar, maybe. I don't know. Sauce. Anyway, that's the collection that I have for now that I found last night. I have some in the bathroom that are cleaning right now, and when I get those, looking decent, I'll bring them back out, and you can see the emblems on them better and what they say. Alright, well, I'll see you on the next video.